Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lost Mine channel. Today it is I, Landen Caitler, back with another post-rotation deck profile. This time we're looking at the brand new Lillie's Clefairy EX partnered with Teal Mask Ogerpon. So the idea of this deck is it's going to be kind of similar to, let's say, Raging Bolt or Turbo Roaring Moon of previous format, of pre-rotation format. It's just going to be a very aggressive attack turn one going second deck, but we got a twist here. So let's just start it off. We've got 4 Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. Teal Dance is going to be our main way of accelerating energy into play, as well as we do play Briar later in the deck list, so this is another way of us taking extra prize cards to catch up in the race. But Teal Dance, may be familiar with it from Regidrago V-Star, is just going to let you attach a grass energy from your hand to Ogerpon once per turn, and then draw a card. So not only is it going to allow you to accelerate energy, it's also digging you deeper into the deck, which really helps with the turbo aspect of this. We also have the attack Myriad Leaf Shower, which does 30 plus 30 for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. So over the course of the game, we do play Energy Switch. We're going to be able to build up a lot of energy on the Ogerpon, and with the combination of Briar, we're going to be able to take 3 prize cards on EX at the end of the game if we need to. Also, Grass Weakness for Charizard is a pretty big deal. So, main support there is Ogerpon. And then partnered, like I said before, Lillie's Clefairy EX. So, its ability Fairy Zone is going to give the weakness, or make the weakness of each of your opponent's Dragon Pokemon Psychic. So, one of the big decks post-rotation is definitely going to be Dragapult. I know we lose Regidrago. But Dragapult is going to be one of the decks that loses the least from rotation, and is quite powerful. But Lillie is going to be able to one-shot that incredibly easy because it gives them a weakness to it, Psychic. So it's attack Full Moon Rondo, very similar to Raikou V, Suicune V, and a Entei V. It's going to do 20 plus 20 for each benched Pokemon in play, including your opponents, for a Psychic and a Colorless. So it's the exact attack as Lightning Rondo on Raikou. It's just very efficient damage, and give you a hint, we're playing Area 0 to boost that damage up, and there is a new tool card, which we'll mention later, that makes this attacker incredibly powerful. It may or may not make it into a one-prizer with no downside, since it is a Lillie's card, but we'll look at the Pro later. But yeah, main attacker is going to be the Lillie's Clefairy. We're going to be able to fill our bench early, attack with Energy Switch going second, and just put a lot of pressure on our opponent with a very efficient attacker. Next up, we have 2 Mew EX. Hisuian Heavy Ball rotated, so we kind of have to play 2 of all these support Pokemon. Mew is going to help us dig through the deck incredibly easily mid to late game, even early game. We play a lot of Ultra Ball, we play a lot of Vessels. We're a very aggressive deck, we're able to thin our hand down quite aggressively, and it's just going to ensure that maybe late game Ionos, Unfair Stamps, just drawing without any disruption, it's going to do that quite well. We need lots of bench Pokemon to fill up for 8 on the bench constantly, especially if our Area 0 is being bumped from play from your opponent's stadium. So in addition to Free Retreat, Restart is going to allow us to draw a lot of cards and stay in the game. Also, Genome Hacking is not too hard to use. We play Energy Switch, so you can choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this. So, it may come up in some utility scenarios, which is quite helpful. Next up, we have 2 Squawkabilly EX. Again, no Hisuian Heavy Ball. We're basically always going to try and use Squawk on turn 1, so playing 2 not only helps you find it easier without a Nest or Ultra Ball, also just ensures you don't prize it, which would be a big deal. Motivate, also a decent attack. We do play a lot of basic energies. Next up, we have Pheasantipity EX. This is still a staple. Don't want to play more than one of these just because it only works if one of your Pokemon's been knocked out, so you can't use multiple of them. That's one of the stipulations as well. So, not able to use it early game, not able to use more than once. So, one of is perfectly adequate. Cruel Arrow, again, all colors. We play Energy Switch. You can snipe for 100 damage. Going to be maybe useful. I haven't used it before in my testing with the deck so far, but it is an option. Next up, we have Latias EX. Kind of unsure about this one. It is the only Pokemon in the deck with more than one retreat. It does give all of your basic Pokemon no retreat cost. You could just attach retreat all your Pokemon, but you want to conserve energy, so I think the Latias is appropriate here. Maybe worth exploring, maybe playing like a rescue board or something like that and cutting this, because it isn't necessarily fantastic, but it does just give us kind of free mobility to not lose energy with retreat. Next up, we have the new Budew from Prismatic Evolutions with the Ichipolian attack. May look kind of counterintuitive in a deck like this as just trying to be so aggressive, but against decks that are quite item reliant, we can go late game or mid game Iono Ichipollen, and also if we do whiff our Clefairy attack going for our second, our default worst case is just going Ichipollen, slowing our opponent down. Maybe we combine that with an early game Iono, kind of destroy like a large hand, maybe if they went for like a Clefairy or something. But Itchy Pollen, obviously quite disruptive. Guaranteed item lock on a basic for no energy with free retreat is quite powerful. We don't intend on really using any other single prizers aside from the Lillie's Clefairy, so the downside of the 30 HP is a little bit mitigated for that reason, but just kind of for stalling your opponent if you're having suboptimal play, so it's a lot better than passing, and it's very easy just to put up in the active with not much downside. Last card here is the Iron Bundle with Hyper Blower. We're not playing Water Energy, so just for the ability to discard it and make sure your opponent switch one of their active to the bench. Can a lot of the time push the not-so-ideal Pokemon they push for you to attack. If you don't need to play a boss, it's just a really easy way to kind of get a pseudo-gust. Not going to be choosing, but a lot of the time is going to have a lot of value. Next up, we have 4 copies of Professor Research. It is our most powerful draw supporter. We know discard draw 7 is very powerful. Arven gets a lot worse post-rotation, so you'll see a lot less of that in these like turbo-style decks, kind of like Miraidon, because Forest Sealstone is gone, so we don't have quite as much utility with the Arven, so Research is definitely just the most powerful effect. We want to get to the bottom of the deck most games so we can pull off the Briar combo if need be, or guarantee that we find the Gust late game. We want to find our tool. We want to set up our board, so Research is just definitely the best way to dig. We have 3 bosses orders. We are quite reliant on bossing and KOing 2-prize Pokemon. We may kind of struggle. We are kind of presenting a 1-prize mirror match, but we have a lot of liabilities on that bench between Mew, Squawk, Ogerpon, Fez, Latios. If your opponent is able to take 2-prize knockouts, they're not going to have a super hard time kind of out-racing you. Next up, we have 2 Iono. Good early game draw supporter, and also very nice to have Disruption. Very powerful in conjunction with Budew if we have an off turn. You can just go Iono them low, Budew, maybe they don't have a lot of response. Maybe it's a matter of like you need more energy on your Ogerpon, so you just need a turn to attach more energies for the Briar play. If maybe you're at 3 prize cards and they're at 2 or 3, you can kind of maybe even go for like a Prime Catcher Iono, kind of stall them out for a turn if you need the extra energies. So a lot of utility. We know Iono is very strong, just kind of counterintuitive and aggressive decks like this, but. Next up, we have Briar. Use this card only if your opponent has 2 prize cards remaining. Just lets you take an extra prize card if you play it. So with Ogrepon, we're quite able to get a lot of energy with something like Energy Switch here, and take a very large knockout late game on something that's maybe like a Fezandipity EX, a Squawkabilly, a Mew, maybe like Charizard. You can even knock out like basic attackers like Terapagos if they have some energy on them quite easily. It's not too outlandish to get maybe 6 or 7 energy in your Ogerpon at the end of the game. Next up, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball for consistency. We want to thin our hand down for the multiple copies of Mew. For Nest Ball, we just need a lot of Pokemon turn 1. We're going to draw a lot of cards between Teal Mask, Mew, and Fez, so Nest Ball has a lot of value getting draw Pokemon. Ultra Ball as well is going to... It's only getting basics, but the hand thinning is actually quite an upside a lot of the time. Next up, we have 2 Super Rod and 2 Earthen Vessel. Super Rod is going to allow us to recover both energies and Pokemon. Obviously, late game we might be finding ourselves like Super Rodding back Triple Grass, just to ensure that we're able to cycle through the deck and get more energy. But again, Super Rod has a lot of value in this deck because of Teal Dance just going draw, draw, draw. Each grass energy just basically replaces itself, so quite powerful in the late game. Good for getting back things like Iron Bundle Fez if it gets knocked out, second Mew, recycling your Ogrepons if need be. Especially good if they bump your stadium. 2 Earthen Vessel, we do play 2 energy types, so very nice to both thin our hand and get energies out of the deck. Quite a powerful effect. Obviously, we know Earthen Vessel is very strong. Next up, our last non-A-spec item is Palpad. We really like being able to Palpad our deck to have multiple bosses, so if we get our Iono, we can kind of proof ourselves for that. And it's also very good to recycle the Briar if we had to discard a Research into matchups where Briar is important. Next up, as our A-spec, we have Prime Catcher. Definitely the best A-spec for this deck. We're just trying to aggressively gust 2 prizers, take quick KOs. We're just trying to really put the pressure on our opponent, and hopefully they can't mount too much of a return. Very similar to decks like Raging Bolt and Roaring Moon. Next up, the reason this deck is so powerful is Lillie's Pearl. It is a new tool card. It says, if the Lillie Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage, notably damage, not effects, from an opponent's attack, they take 1 less prize card. So this only goes on Lillie's Clefairy, but we put this on Clefairy, and it just turns into a 1-prizer if they don't have exactly Jamming Tower because Lost Vacuum rotates. So we're able to very effectively deny their prize cards and turn our Lillies into a 1-prizer. So the 190 HP looks a little squishy, but a 190 HP 1-prizer is very powerful. So not only are we racing our opponent with early efficient damage, we're also basically making them find early game tool removal or gust around the Lillie. So we apply a lot of pressure with effectively a 1-prize Pokemon. Next up, we have 4 copies of Area 0. We need to find this on turn 1 because it bolsters our damage output, and we basically need to keep playing it every time they replace it, because capping at, if they don't have a full bench, they need full 5, us full 5 if we're going to do 220. But if we have a full 8, they can have as little as 2 Pokemon for us to do 220 with Clefairy. We do hit 2 good weaknesses. We hit 3 weaknesses, Psychic, Dragon, and Grass. So we have a lot of like manipulation that way, doubling our damage, but we do need natural damage output with the Area 0. Next up for energies, 4, 7 Grass, and 3 Psychic. 7 Grass, mostly here, obviously, because we need Ogrepon. This is pretty close to how Drago plays Energy Spread right now. A lot of them play maybe 2 Fire, but we don't have much back-to-hand recovery. We don't have energy retrieval or anything like that. We're kind of relying on the energy switch. All our attackers are quite energy efficient, like Clefairy takes 2, so you don't really find yourself needing too many energy retrievals. It's not like Raging Bolt where we're constantly discarding energy. But the Super Rod late game is usually enough for you to get back 3 energy and be good to the Mara. Usually I'm finding that you're just needing 1 Super Rod to kind of stay in the game. If you have to research 1 early, that's okay. It's usually only 1 that you really need, just because you need to get back some energies, maybe 1 or 2 Pokemon to maintain your damage output. But that is the Turbo Ogerpon Clefairy deck. I think this deck is quite powerful. Very excited to check this out in the gameplay videos ahead. Quick couple shoutouts. Follow myself, CaitlerTCG on Twitter, Lucas Oldale on Twitter, and our Lost Mine Twitter. These are all in the description. And again, I do coach on Metafy. If you are looking for some coaching, hit me up on there. Hopefully we got some more announcements for you, but for now we're doing these deck profiles and we've got some gameplay coming out as well, so keep your eye open for that. Thanks so much for watching.